In the previous video, we discussed the first priority of marriage, which is to focus on the process and not the outcomes. If you missed it, we provided a link in the description. In today's video, we will discuss the second priority, which is to find mentors and look at the definition of a mentor, how they are useful, what to look for in a mentor, what the mentor-mentee relationship is like, and finally, where to find a mentor. As always, like and subscribe if you find these videos helpful to your marriage. Now let's dive in. Behind every great player is a coach. Behind every great marriage are mentors accompanying them along the journey. Just like coaches don't give players athletic ability, but hone it toward a goal, marriage mentors don't fix relationships, but help the couple to reach specific goals by unlocking their God-given potential. They help couples overcome challenges in their relationship while holding them accountable. No marriage can reach its maximum potential without the accountability and experience provided by mentors. There is an unwritten rule that marriage is a private little space between a husband and a wife, the inner activities of which should be kept unknown to everyone. Following this unwritten rule is perhaps the most damaging thing a couple can do. Human beings don't grow in isolation. We grow in community. What applies to individuals applies to marriage. No aspect of your life should be completely secret, because left to your own devices, you will convince yourself that your bad decisions were good ones. Marriage mentors are useful in the following ways. They can act as neutral parties in your conflicts. There's a saying that cooler heads prevail, but what happens when no one is cool and emotions are high? Things are said out of anger, and neither one of you is willing to hear from the other. At times like this, it is helpful to have another couple in the room or on a call who can talk you both down. They can hold you accountable to being consistent with your promises and to keeping your vows even when you least feel like it. If your marriage is new, mentors can help you avoid making costly mistakes or going down wrong paths that would have consequences down the road that you haven't even thought of. Most new couples riding the euphoria of just getting married don't even realize the seeds of bitterness and divorce that they could be laying at the outset. But someone who is seasoned and perhaps lived through some of those consequences can help steer you away from a cliff that you are headed toward years from now. Mentors act as sounding boards for critical decisions. As the proverb goes, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to advice. If you want to mitigate the painful consequences of bad decision-making and improve your marriage, you have to find the right mentors. But in order to find a coach, you must be coachable and intentional about seeking one out. By the way, coaching is just a targeted and more intense form of mentoring. And for the purposes of this post, the terms mentor and coach will be used interchangeably. Coaches should preferably be a married couple that both you and your spouse admire, not for their success or what they have achieved. Their circumstances may be different from yours, and you don't want to compare yourselves. Instead, admire the work ethic, commitment, and sacrifice that they put into making their marriage flourish. These things you can emulate. This couple should be in close proximity to you to make getting together convenient. If they are not in close proximity, video conferencing will do, but it's not as impactful as being in person. The point is, there should be direct face-to-face interaction to facilitate all modes of communication. This couple should not have a subjective bent toward either of you. So parents are not ideal for the job. This couple should be willing to avail themselves to the both of you often, be completely confidential, and also willing to be transparent with you. Finally, they should be able to relate to your experiences, perhaps having been through similar trials in their marriage, or having already achieved goals that you have set for yours. How you are mentored by these coaches really depends on the nature of the relationship and the boundaries that you set. For example, an athlete-coach relationship is sometimes like that of a child to a parent. especially if the athlete has been lacking that type of guidance in his life. At other times, it's strictly professional, centering only on the sport. There are even specialty coaches for the nuances of the game, such as offense, defense, and foul shooting. My wife and I chose coaches for our marriage at different seasons in our lives. I'm not referring to seasons of the year, but rather periods of time that bring significant changes to your relationship. We had coaches for our newlywed years, our child-raising years, and career changes. And later, we will seek new coaches to help us succeed in other endeavors. A coach doesn't have to be a professional mentor like my wife and I, as long as they listen to you dispassionately, because you don't want emotions getting in the way, and can offer sound advice. However, the two things you should look for in any coach is a heart to help you and a thorough knowledge of what you're facing in your marriage, so they can help you come up with a game plan. The game plan should apply your particular gifts, talents, and abilities toward your marriage. Men and women are designed for very special attributes for getting married and to help each other to thrive. The problem once we get married is that we are applying the wrong set of skills to our relationship. Just like a sports team, you have to learn your best contribution to the marriage team and not just your personal gain. This is what a coach helps you to determine. When a basketball player transitions lazily down the court from offense to defense in a game, it hurts his team because they're down one defensive player. Your actions as a spouse, no matter how seemingly disconnected from your family, are always connected in some way. A decision to work late or sleep in one Sunday morning can have consequences down the line. Every decision is not life or death, but at the very least, you should consider the consequences of every action on the family unit. We don't readily see these consequences because we live in a society that celebrates individual, self-serving, rather than selfless behavior. A coach, once again with a dispassionate but discerning eye, can help you connect your everyday decisions to their effect on your family. So, where do you find these mythical coaches or mentors? First, you should start your search as an engaged couple, attending seminars and intensives that are scheduled in your vicinity. That is where you can network with couples such as my wife and I, who regularly take on couples in a coaching capacity. Your home church or government outreach center would also provide mentoring services. There just may be couples in your own social circle that impress you as helpful resources. Mentors rarely approach the mentees to offer coaching. More commonly, it's the other way around, where the mentees approach suitable mentors. The relationship can be formal or informal, but coaching should have a start and end date with specific goals that you want to achieve as a couple. For more resources on ideas on mentoring, check the links to our marriage prep videos in the description, or visit us at daveanddarry.com for more information. Coaching is the final piece of your marriage game. I say this facetiously because marriage is not a game. It is your life and that of other people. It is the most important human relationship you will ever have. Unfortunately, the rules for marriage in Western culture are being revised to accommodate those who wish only to put in a subpar performance. There are quickie divorces now. States are abolishing laws against adultery. Marriage licenses are as easy to obtain as a fishing license. No training or formal instruction is required. Imagine what the consequences to a sport would be if every time a game got too difficult to win, one team could just walk off the court and quit without penalty. The sport would lose its fan base, its revenue, and eventually the league would dissolve altogether. This is what will happen to marriage if we keep lowering standards for success in favor of those who don't want to put in the effort. However, consequences will not be just to a league. Our very society is at stake, because marriage is the linchpin of that society in which we live. Your marriage is bigger than you because it signifies your lifelong commitment to one person first. As you grow into that responsibility, it qualifies you to take on more. It all starts with what you believe. Can marriage be a foundation from which you can prosper and have joy in your life? It can, but it takes a great deal of effort, discipline, in developing a set of skills that will help you be at the top of your marriage game. And the right coaches can get you there. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Your support will enable us to create more content like this and help more married couples to live out their relationship the way God intended.